All right, integrated 2, welcome to week 8. We only have 2 weeks left, and next week would be kind of our finals week. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to finish up with some good topics that you need just to build up your skills for integrated 3 in the fall. And so we're going to kind of do a Tuesday lesson, a Thursday lesson, and combine some of that and kind of give you a quote final on those materials. So this is a dividing rational expression, so it's a continuation of what we did last week. It's basically going to be the same work that you were doing. So if you can work with your monomials, if you can factor binomials and trinomials, and you can cancel, then you'll be very successful. And once again, it is a good idea for you to continue practicing your factoring. The more you do it, the more you just start seeing the same thing show up over again, and you come up with the 2 factors all the time. Now, going back, we said a rational expression was a fraction, okay? And a fraction is a rational expression. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the arrows both ways. But since I like to take you back to some earlier days, I'm not teaching you anything new, okay? In the sense that if we break it up into pieces, it's all something that you've done before. So if we go back to junior high, the way we divided fractions, we said, hey, there's no such thing as dividing fractions. You simply multiply by the reciprocal. Or you know that most of us said change division to multiplication and flip the second fraction. Emphasis on the second fraction. Okay? The next thing was to cancel any factor in the numerators with any factors in the denominator. So we are factoring. Okay? We factor first, and then we cancel. And remember what we're doing. With the monomials, we separated them out, and we multiplied the tops and bottoms, and then we simplified like we simplified in January. And the binomials, I just don't do a random canceling. I look to write the numerators. We work left to right and cancel tops and bottoms. We move answers to the final answer. And of course, anything left on the bottom goes to the bottom. And our final answers, you'll see, are left in factored form. We never actually do most of the multiplying. We don't multiply our binomials and anything together. Okay? So I'm going to give you 4 examples, and then I'll swing you around. I'm only going to give you 4 problems for our Tuesday assignment. And that's all I want you to practice for what is our class time on Tuesday. Watch the video, do the problems, and then we'll pick up the next lesson on Thursday with a new video. Okay. So here we are. So example 1 is monomials, right? And I have 8a squared b to the 5th over 3a to the 5th b to the 4th divided by 16a cubed divided by 9a squared over b cubed. Or 16a cubed over 9a squared b cubed. So step 1, change division to multiplication and flip the second fraction. So change division to multiplication and flip the second fraction. Now I'm sure next year when you guys do this problem again, a lot of your teachers will say, well, you can cancel the 8 and the 16, the 3 and the 9, and you can, okay? I could say that 8 goes into 8 once, 8 goes into 16 twice, and make this problem really manageable. But for anyone who has trouble or gets confused or gets lost in things, then notice what it says. Multiply tops, multiply bottoms. And of course we do numbers with numbers, and we add our exponents. So this would be 72, a to the 4th, b to the 8th, and this would be 48, a to the 8th, and b to the 4th. So we really are going to reduce 72 over 48. So since we have our calculator, if you want to go ahead and just use it, I can go 72, fraction button, 48, okay, get a mixed number, but I get 3 over 2. Now, what's the next thing we do? We circle the highest exponent. So instead of applying a property where we do 4 minus 8, get a to the negative 4th and flip it, we say, hey, I have 4 a's on top, I have 8 a's on the bottom, there are 4 more a's on the bottom, I have 8 b's on top, I have 4 b's on the bottom, I have 4 more b's on top. I look at it, looks good, and I am done. Okay. Now, what I was saying earlier, what you might see some teachers tell you, say, well, you could do the old cross cancel or cancel top and bottom. So you can see a teacher do that. 8 goes into 8 once, 16 goes in twice. This is once, and this is 3, so you can see the 3 halves. But then they'll also have you start doing this. Oh, you got 5 and 4, so you can just do this, and then you have a B, and you can see what a mess it might become, okay? So you'll decide next year, or even as you do some of the problems, you're going to have to decide what's going to work for you. The safest thing is don't be afraid to work with bigger numbers. That's why you have this. And keep it orderly. If you want to take some shortcuts along the way, just make sure that you don't make small mistakes that keep you from the answer all the time. All right, perfect. So we'll leave it at that, and let's go ahead and move into example 2. Okay, remember you can always pause the video to write the problem down. I'll just keep going. Okay, I'm dividing 2 fractions. So step 1, change division to multiplication. So the front fraction, the first fraction stays the same, and we're going to flip the second fraction. So we simply flip, real easy move. Now we're going to look to factor. And so remember what we said, we look at each problem. There are 4 problems here. Y plus 5 doesn't factor, so I can protect with parentheses. Now, sometimes you don't, I could rewrite the problem right now, but you might also see this right here. Y squared minus 4y minus 5, you might see someone do this. They'll factor y minus 5, y plus 1, and they might just do it in the same spot we're working at. And then they might just go, okay, I'm just going to kind of do that. Okay? And then I have y plus 1 here. So I don't do anything with that. And then I have a mistake. Hold on. See that plus? I had it as a minus. See how easy it is to write the problem down wrong? So you got to be very careful. Double check your work. And this guy is going to factor into y plus 5 over, or excuse me, times y minus 1. Okay, so what's our rule? Work the top from left to right. So I have a y plus 5 on top, I have a y plus 5 on the bottom. I have a y plus 1 on top, I have a y plus 1 on the bottom. So there's nothing left at top, there's nothing left for me to do, there's nothing that we moved over here, so when it's empty on top, what do we have to put? Okay, there's nothing left, so be careful, make sure you put in skinny friend. And then as soon as we're done with the top, whatever's on the bottom we call the leftovers, and they simply move to your final answer. And so it would be 1 over y minus 5 times y minus 1. And this is the answer in factored form. This is how I usually let you just leave the answer. Now, you might look at the answers on the internet, or maybe you're doing a problem, and you'll see this. You'll see this as the answer. Well, all they did was take this answer and they went ahead and did FOIL on it. Okay? So this is what's called an answer in factored form, and this is an answer where they actually multiplied and got the bottom. I'm okay with you guys giving me your answers in factored form. Okay? So it's the exact same thing we did last week, except we make this move and then we operate how we've done before. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, we're going to move to example 3. Since this is just sitting in the video right there and I want a little bit of room to work, I'm just going to kind of take that out. And let's go ahead and do problem 3. Division. Now the one thing I don't want you guys to do is that sometimes if we were together in class, we'd do division for a while and you would flip. And then some people, when they get a multiplication problem, they start flipping that also. Okay, so make sure you keep the two things separate. If it's multiplication, we just go for it. We factor and cancel. Here's our division. A squared plus, whoops, sorry, I'm going to write it again, sorry. A squared plus 10a plus 25 over a squared minus 9 times a squared minus 3a over a plus 5. Well, you saw the last problem where I just kind of factored right there, but let's go ahead and do this out a little bit longer. So here's the top part, and this is going to be a plus 5 times a plus 5. No GCF. Looks like the difference of squares. A plus 3, a minus 3. A squared minus 3a. What do we always look for first when we say the word factor? We do GCF. A times a minus 3. And we can't do anything with this. And of course, a plus 5 doesn't break down. We protect with parentheses. Okay. I know I'm at the edge of the video, so once again, I'm just going to kind of work down here. And the first thing I'm supposed to look for is the monomials. And notice, there's an a right here. There is no other monomials in the problem, so a is just this monomial by itself. And so if it's on top, we just move it. Now what are we going to do? We're going to work the top from left to right. So I have an 8 plus 5 on top. I have an 8 plus 5 on the bottom. And yes, you could cancel this one with this one, but remember, I work left to right. Okay, I have another 8 plus 5 on top. There is no 8 plus 5 on the bottom. So remember, that's a move. We move it. I have an a minus 3 on top, a minus 3 on the bottom. The top is completely dealt with. We have this 8 plus 3 left over. And we are done. Okay? Just moves down to the final answer. You don't have to multiply this. If we did, it would be a squared plus 5a, but there would be no canceling take place. This is fine. You could do that, but then I don't want you to do the a, so, you know, there are cleaner versions of the answer, but this looks really kind of good how it is right here. Okay? All right, so take a look at where we've come so far. We've hit our monomials, okay? We have our two sitting guys right here, and we got this last one here, which looks really simple, but I think you're going to see there's a lot of little GCFs. I can do this a whole lot better than the GCFs. It's so easy to kind of forget your GCFs or what's going on with the problem or we miss it. So let's do this last example. Once again, I'm going to take this out, and of course you can pause the video and keep it. So here we go. Part 1, I see division. So we flip, and now I look at 4 problems. 2y minus 6. Look for first GCF. I pull out 2, y minus 3. 4y plus 28. Four times y plus 7. 2y plus 14, GCF of 2. And y minus 3 is a binomial, no GCF, no difference of squares. Protect with parentheses. Okay, here we are, monomials. So I can multiply the tops is 4. The bottom is 4. And that equals 1. Okay? Maybe some of those who know, some of you know how to cross cancel, you can see the canceling and get 1. Okay, so I know my monomials are done, so I like to do this. All right, work left to right. Y minus 3 on top. Y minus 3 on the bottom. X plus 7 on top. X plus 7 on the bottom. Everything's canceled out. What is the same thing divided by the exact same thing? Our answer would be 1 here, okay? Because remember, if the top and bottom are exactly the same, and I think you can see that if we do 2 times 2 is 4 and rearrange everything, then your answer is 1. And I wanted to kind of throw this example in and say, well, look what it started, look what all this is, and when it was all said and done, these were the exact. This was like 8 divided by 8. or negative 10 divided by negative 10. These are the exact same thing, or the exact same problem, so we get an answer of 1. Okay, that is our division lesson. Let me swing you around to your assignment. Okay. So, as we're winding down, this is our Tuesday note. So this video is about 25 minutes or so. And here are 4 problems. It may take some of you 10 minutes, may take some of you 25. So this is about an hour's worth of work for your Tuesday. I'll be posting the video before your Tuesday. And so look at this, and then we got this last one. We got multiplication, and we got division. Okay? I hope you're thinking that the first thing you're going to do is you're going to flip this, and then you're going to factor, and you're going to cancel and do it the exact same way. It doesn't matter if there's just 2 of these or 3 of these. So I kind of threw that problem in there for you to have some fun with. And then remember, don't have these final answers just where you can stare and make it work. Have the final answer, copy down somewhere, or just sitting in the video somewhere, but do all this. And if you get the right answer, great. If you don't get the right answer, come back here and find out where your mistake is. If you really can't figure out something, you're supposed to text me, you're supposed to email me, school loop me, or whatever, if you really can't get a problem out on your own. All right? We're almost to the end, guys. I hope that you're doing well as always. And I hope that we can be back together in August, although I probably won't be your teacher. I hope I'll be able to see you guys around. All right? I'll see you in the next video.